Bioware's marketing for this game has been absolutely abhorrently dog shit. Like, I don't know who's running the show or the circus at Bioware with this marketing, but I feel like a bunch of people, YouTubers included, have marketed this game way better than Bioware themselves, which is sad as hell. If YouTubers can market your game better than you yourself, then that just tells you all that you need to know about this. They didn't really do it any justice with that reveal trailer. And for the record, I'm somebody who has never really been into Dragon Age. I played the Dragon Age Origins demo and played the demo for 2, but at the time I was at my first job as a kid and I really didn't have the money to afford either game. But I did like when I played from the demos of both games. I did later on end up buying Inquisition. I liked it for a little bit, but for some reason I dropped it and was never able to get back into it. I don't know, like, to me it just kind of was a bit boring. But when I first seen that reveal trailer at the Microsoft showcase, it really didn't do nothing for me as somebody who you would think they're trying to cater to as an outsider to get this game. It didn't blow me away, it didn't knock my socks off, and Bioware knows that they're in a position where this game has to deliver and people have to be hyped for this. And then literally the following day on their social media account, they showed a 20-second teaser for this gameplay literally a day later and said, hey, we got some exclusive gameplay to show you tomorrow. And according to a lot of people, they like what they seen more from that little 20-second teaser for the gameplay than they did for the trailer. And I don't know why companies in general have this thing where they want to show the teaser or trailer first and then gameplay second. I feel like you can make some exceptions with some games, but not all the games. I feel like there's some developers you really need to knock people's socks off, especially when you're at the bottom of the barrel and there's nowhere else to go but up. You absolutely need to blow people away and just knock people's socks off with a huge gameplay reveal. Now, like I said in my reaction to this, I don't think the gameplay looks bad. I think it looks good, honestly. But my biggest issue with it, they didn't show any high level gameplay. They should have showed like something that was kind of like later on in the game. And funny, I mentioned this, Michael Gamble, who is at Bioware, shared this screenshot of what appears to be some high level gameplay, and I was kind of confused why they didn't show this, because I feel like if they had to show this at a very high level, bro, it would have knocked people's socks off. And this, it wouldn't necessarily have to be like spoilers. It could have just been like, okay, let's say this is a side mission or something like that. But instead, they end up showing like very early on gameplay, which kind of looked like it was literally at the start of the game. And I think the biggest takeaway for me, the story looks like it could be the selling point, because by the end of that gameplay reveal, I'm like, yo, like, I want to see where this can go. But other criticisms that, you know, I could point out, it kind of gives off like this illusion of choice with certain things you could choose from, where, and I know a lot of RPGs that does this. Dragon Age is not the only one that's done this in the past, but there's this common trope among RPGs where you pick a thing, you don't say the thing you're supposed to say. I don't know why people, you know, do that, but it is what it is, I guess. There was one of the choices that you could choose from where it kind of gave off the impression it didn't matter what you selected. And I just hope that the RPG mechanics and the gameplay is good for this. But the next time, Bioware, you show some gameplay, knock people's socks off, okay? Knock people's socks off. Take everything you've been hearing from people who's reacted to this, gave criticism, and be like, okay, what can we do to really blow you away? Maybe show off some insane gameplay that's not a spoiler. I'm pretty sure you got a bunch of side quests in the game that probably look dope as hell that you ain't showed off yet. Of course, like, there has been this ongoing discourse about, oh my god, they changed the art style, they're not catering to Dragon Age fans. But there are people who are fans of the series that says that, hey, like, they have been changing things every single time from the very beginning. The gameplay in Inquisition don't feel like Origins or 2. I feel like both of them games had amazing gameplay compared to Inquisition. Just felt like a clusterfuck. And this whole thing is kind of peeled back the layered onion. Will Bioware go under after this game comes out? To me, I think the jury's still out. They gotta mark the fuck out of this game between now and fall 2024, which, when are you releasing this game? Because, dear God, don't pull a Titanfall 2 and sandwich this game between other colossal releases. Like, if anything, a nice release window probably would be, I'd say, anywhere from throughout September, because I don't see nothing big coming out for the month of September, and I say like the most of October, because I don't hear about that many big games coming out in October either. But I'm pretty sure as we get closer to the fall, we're gonna hear more and more about game releases coming. I'm about now to the people who really think that Bioware could be going under after Dragon Age Inquisition. Y'all really gotta look at these numbers. Anthem, even for all its faults, and was a total disaster and a humongous downgrade for Bioware as a company, it still managed to sell over 5 million copies, and as of this report, it earned over $100 million in digital revenue. Not only that, but Mass Effect Andromeda, a game that came out before Anthem, managed to sell 5 million copies. And this isn't a PlayStation situation where they care more about the reception instead of the sales, as is highlighted by Days Gone, where a lot of people tend to really like the game despite it having like a bit of mixed or decent reviews. I guess it still managed to sell 5 million copies, which would have been enough to greenlight a sequel, but Sony themselves was on record saying that because of the reception and because of the quality of the game, they feel like, nah, we're not gonna greenlight another game. As for EA, they typically like to greenlight products based on numbers and rather than reception. And you know, as backwards as it kind of is, it is what it is. I mean, EA's been like that for a while now, where it's like they care more about the sales of a game than the game actually being liked, which, yeah, that could be the reason why Pandemic and many other studios is no longer around. And I hate to break the news to y'all, if this game manages to sell around that same ballpark of like 5 million, then Bioware ain't going nowhere. It don't matter what the reception is. It could be total dog shit for all we know. And people are gonna do the same exact thing they did when after Anthem came out and after Andromeda came out. Oh, are they gonna shut down Bioware because of this? After Andromeda, that was like really their first domino to fall, so to speak. And they did end up closing that offshoot Bioware studio, which honestly, I feel like that they should have had a second chance to make a Mass Effect game, because it was their first game they ever made. And you know, they had all the weight on their shoulders to deliver. Now, granted, I don't know why they didn't give Andromeda to Edmonton, but hey, it's neither here nor there. And after that, with the disaster that was Anthem, I ain't gonna lie, like I was even looking at Bioware spooky, but they managed to come out of that whole situation completely unscathed. And I started to believe, and I still believe, that maybe EA has battered wife syndrome and they just don't want to divorce Bioware at all, because they feel like we gotta stay together for the sake of the kids, and the kids in this instance have to be the fans. Because I can see it happening a mile away. If it was to be announced that EA closes down Bioware, everybody that is not looking forward to this game is going to be shitting on EA, like, how dare you close Bioware, da da da. EA is evil again. They're back to their old evil maniacal ways, closing down studios. But you yourself may have made a video, multiple videos saying, oh, Bioware's going to get shut down after this. So if you hope that happens or think that happens, then don't get mad at EA. Simple as that. But I will say the sales will really be the defining factor for this, if it'll sell well. And as far as I can tell from this shit marketing, it's not looking pretty. I'm not going to go as far as to say this is going to sell well just yet, because I ain't really been blown away yet. And when I get to that blown away moment, then I'll probably say, yeah, it's gonna sell well. But until then, the jury's still out. And if it don't sell well, then we could have that dialogue about EA closing down Bioware. But it just depends by how much. If it's another thing where it's like, oh, they gave it a budget, or they had a forecast for it to sell 9 million copies, which I don't know how EA can look at this gameplay and trailer to say, oh, it looks like it'll sell us 9 million pesos or however, then I want what they're smoking. But that's a story for another day about companies having these bloated budgets and then get mad when a game doesn't sell well. Well, maybe if you shrunk the budget down and had like a low ceiling for like let's say 3-4 million, and it outsells that'd be nice. But with that being said, y'all let me know what you think about this in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, subscribe for more gaming content like this, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.